in-person hot drop.
Yeah.
Never thought that was gonna happen. This is like the perfect event, because every other event you don't really have time, but this event you kind of have some time.
Yeah. Only on time.
Lots of time. I feel so. I don't know if you do a proper intro or not, but yeah. I always start the recording and then I'm not ready to start. Yeah, welcome to the first offline in-person hot drop.
Nope.
So nice to have you here, guys.
Thank you.
PGS 6 champion, undisputed GOAT coach. Wanted to ask you that, Gunner, because I feel a little bit lost sometimes on these practice days. The boys go to game, you want to be there with your team.
Yeah.
But you don't really have that much to do. Like, you can do a little bit of analysis, you could do that from here. What do you do when you're at the venue with your boys?
This week all I've been doing was just going through the comms and just like marking, spots and areas that as a team we could listen to, just to like streamline the process when we do like a VOD review. But I mean that's done already. So like even yesterday that wasn't too much, but
that's like 1 or 2 days.
For the most part it was just like standing behind them and watching them play like team ranked or like team pubs or something together. Everyone kind of has their own routine, like of TDMing or how they like to practice. But typically I usually like to do at least 2 hours of team practice, like no matter what. Because like after 2 hours it just gets less productive.
Yeah.
Especially like since the venue's really hot.
And the internet, right?
Yeah, between like the packet loss and the venue getting hot, like the guys are getting kind of like, I could tell like visually.
You don't want anyone to tilt, right? Like you want to practice, but you don't want to ruin the mood either. Like that's the constant balance, I feel like.
It's tough, it's tough because like they do tilt. Every team does. Like I watched yesterday, like, Shrimsy just gets 80% packet loss, and then next thing you know, he's already flushed, and he doesn't even know he's flushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so now he's sitting there for 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta try and balance that. But I mean, even me, I'm still like getting better at trying to figure out how to, like, I guess, make the most productive practice schedule during these off days.
You said something to me, Batu, before this event started. You said PGS is about survival, like in-game and out-of-game. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody that's here has kind of like learned that, like, you get sick. A lot of people do. Like, we both got sick.
Yeah.
And then we come to practice and the internet doesn't work. And like, we tried to scrim yesterday. We signed up for Thailand scrims. I was pretty proud of myself to like figure that out.
That's big.
And we were like, this is going to be a good, productive time. And we jump into the games and we just have constant packet loss. Yeah. And like, you play a mid game, you're playing really hot, and then one of you guys just like packet losses out into the open and just dies. And he just played 18 minutes of PUBG without shooting anyone and then died to packet loss. Like, it's rough. What do you guys do these days? Like,
well, so
training mode or?
It started with me, like I was chilling in my room for like more than 3 days.
Yeah.
Like the most boring time ever.
Yeah.
Because like I get some illness during finals.
Yeah.
And first of all, I had to survive these 3 days, like using some medical treatment. It was really hard. It's like, I feel like it was much more, not like pressure, but like more work on the shoulders of my teammates, because it was really hard to like talk even in game while I'm being agile. Imagine hard to talk and being agile. Yeah. And somehow we managed to start so terrible and then come back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And after like this final day, I was completely dead. Like I just came to hotel and I was sleeping for 11 hours and then was staying in the room. Like, so I don't give some illness to my teammates.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where did I get it. I feel like possibly from AC in our room because it feels dirty and we'll see. Because both me and my coach, we both get illness. Just my coach was feeling much worse.
Yeah.
So I had to move to another room. To be able.
Because he wasn't even there until the final day.
Yeah. He just came like in the evening for the final day when he finally felt good, and just to watch us winning.
Yeah. He just wanted to be there for the win.
Yeah. So if we talking about like practice, since I was not with my team, but I asked them like, what did you do? They said TDM, training mode. Sometimes they try to play ranked games, but because of packet loss, it like feels tilted.
Yeah.
Sometimes just like Gunner said, like you literally die. You don't know that you died because like this 90% of packet loss. And yeah, that's basically how all these practice days work.
Yeah.
You just come, play, try to get some practice.
You really have to try to get some practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. I'm just always thinking like before, back to 2021 when we had COVID and we had this 2 months tournament in Korea. We had much better practice rooms, I feel like. I don't know, how do you think, like, did you like this, like 1 month of staying in the hotel or not?
Nah, I mean, I'd like it better. Excuse me. I'd like it better if we had like practice rooms. Like I think Saudi set up perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you literally just like, you're in the same hotel. You have like the most amazing practice room in your hotel. So like there's just like everyone can kind of almost be on their own schedule, but it's like practicing, you know, you're not just like rotting away in your room, in your bed, or like just trying to find something. Let's just go to the mall. Or like let's just do something.
Because that also feels pointless, right? But like you can't do nothing, but also like going sightseeing is not what you're here for, really. Right?
I've gone to the mall twice and have purchased nothing.
Yeah.
And the mall's like 30
it's just
minutes
killing
away.
time. It's just killing
exactly.
time.
I just want the day to get over.
Yeah.
So we could practice the next day on our like assigned day. But yeah, I mean,
so Saudi is the perfect one.
Yeah, I mean, thus far, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I can agree on it because like I also feel like when I'm coming to a tournament, even when I have some free time, I feel like I'm here for the work.
Yeah.
It's like something inside me. I can't just go and like go the sightseeing, going to like, I don't know, Phuket, you know, like to the island to check like Thailand. No, I just here for the work. And when you have a practice room inside your hotel, you can literally do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
And Saudi was perfect.
The thing is as well, is it doesn't even have to be like it doesn't have to be like 32 PC, like 32 teams or whatever. It can just be like, even if only 4 teams can practice at the same time, you just make like 4-hour time slots or something.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's way better than what we have here. Because here it's like you drive to the venue, but then at the venue is the only place where you get good PCs, but you have shit internet, and it's like an hour away. And even if you go to an internet cafe yourself, you kind of have bad PCs, so that doesn't really work either. And it's just like, it's no way to win, it feels like. Even at PGC, we had this with the chairs.
Oh yeah.
Which was kind of terrible, but it was still way better than this, because you could just go there and play. You know?
Yeah, like that.
You bring 2 of your hotel pillows so you can actually sit, and then you're kind of fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be like, I guess like the perfect setup, but like, I do wish going forward there's just going to be like more of a communication of like, hey, what do you guys need? Like, hey, like, does this, even if it's just a damn chair, is this chair good? You know, like.
We were so excited when they posted, this is the desks, this is the height of the desks, this is the chairs. We were like, oh, that's good. PCs are good. This is going to be a sick event. We can play 2 out of 3 days. Everything's perfect. And then, oh, but the internet doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, okay, like the rest is kind of pointless.
Or the AC doesn't.
Yeah, the AC doesn't work, the internet doesn't work. I mean, also, we are complaining now, but imagine you're a team that didn't make the finals. You didn't get to play the Thursday before finals, the whole weekend, the Monday, and then maybe if you were in the wrong group, you didn't get to play the Tuesday either. So, like, that's 6 days that you're sitting in your hotel wondering what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
don't the phase, they went to our, or some of the teams went to our practice room from PGC. They went to that that arena.
Or AMD arena, whatever it's called. Yeah,
they went there. And I was like, well, I mean.
We also went to like an internet cafe and stuff, but it's not great, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when we qualified, like a lot of our fans were like kind of like, oh, it's kind of like a free vacation in Thailand, right? And I'm just like, you've never been at a PUBG event. Like, this is not vacation.
There's no vacation.
This is very work. Moving on. I guess I was gonna ask you, like, you guys were dominating in group stage, right? And then you had a really bad first day in finals. You think that was down to you being sick, or you think there was like stuff went wrong that day? Like, how do you think that?
I would answer like pretty simple. Like in my opinion, there was like two things that really made us play not good. Like first of all, it was my sickness, and I had to adapt to get used to like this feeling when it's hard to talk.
Yeah.
And second was that the circles were really hard. Like I was kind of explaining to my fans, viewers, like in my Telegram channel, that this game, like being consistent in not only about your skill but also about like what kind of circles you get, because some circles you like completely unplayable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need the luck that some other team's gonna do some like super huge mistakes or just like and because of it you will have a chance to like play a good game. And these first days was some of these days then when you are completely unlucky with everything. Of course, like if you play somewhere a bit better, you get 3 more points in this game, and you always have to like push yourself to be better, whatever like circle is. But overall, like we got like 22 points or something, and it was maximum. Yeah.
That can be pretty close to maximum some days.
And also, like I already learned that if you would always, let's say, think that I didn't play well, I have to play better every single time, it makes you feel a bit, not like unconfident, but like it's hard. I'm just getting easy on it. Like, bad day is fine. Let's go play next day. Just focus on each game you play. And if you're a good team, you will always be on top.
Yeah.
So,
You're the only team that's kind of always on top. Except for EWC, but...
Yeah, except from EWC. But I'm sure that like if we would qualify for finals, it would be easy final. Not like the first place easy, but like to be in the top is pretty easy for us, It was just the first event without this last chance.
Yeah.
We got used to play through...
You like playing last chance,
Yeah, I mean, Shanghai was also without it, but, you know, it's a bit different. Like, it's a bit lower pressure.
Yeah.
And, and also we got hot dropped by AGG.
Yeah.
In, like, this game, when we got hot dropped, and the next game, it ended in power grid. So basically, without this hot drop, we would just play this last game and qualify.
Yeah.
But we had to play from fucking I don't know where.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got a chance. But, like, we were in the deep, and there was TSM with the 2,000 points. They don't care about this game. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, so it's hard. And I'm sure that, like, group stage in some of the events is way harder than finals. Because you need to think not only about the, like, getting this top one. You just need to know that other teams don't care or they want to close you. Like, just come and hot drop you, whatever, So that was happening in EWC.
I really, really hate that we've gone to these like small short tournaments with no last chance. Because in group stage there's so much that can happen, right? Like even if you just get to play on the wrong day and a team that wants to close you out played the day before you can be at a massive disadvantage, right? You guys have been there with like Pachinki Picado versus 17 and stuff. We've been on the good side, you've been on the bad side. And it's completely out of your hands what group you get seeded into.
Yeah, it's nothing you get.
And then you play the wrong day, and there's 4 teams in your lobby that already got 60 points on the first day. Yeah. They just play whatever the fuck they want, right? And you're sitting there with 0 points in game 1, and like.
And the funniest fact that like we got very good group stage here. Yeah. And like everyone was thinking, they're like good team, like that might win the tournament. But like if you go back to EWC, like which teams who was in top 3, where they were in group stage. Like Sonics were near us before the final 2 games. Pero qualified as 16th. FaZe qualified during the last game. And we could like qualify through the last game and you would get like all the teams from like the worst results in group stage, but they are the best in the finals. That's how PUBG works.
Yeah.
So I don't know like about this structure, like if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling myself you have to qualify in top 16 no matter what, because like if you are not in top 16, like qualify. But
that's the thing, right? It's like there's a lot of RNG involved, but also to get 16th out of 24, you don't have to play good. You just have to be like somewhat okay.
Yeah, or have like one good game. Like if you have one good game, and like you could afford some bad games.
Yeah.
But even EWC group stage, like our first day, I don't remember how many points we had, 20 something. But like the zones are just so bad. Like I remember we finished it and we're like, man, like we're not in the best spot, obviously, to qualify, but it's still very doable. Like even if we repeated that bad day, there's still a good chance that we would qualify top 16. But like we went back and we looked at the games and we're like, you know, like we didn't actually play that bad. Like we were dealt a bad hand on a lot of these zones. Like we probably could have picked up 7 more points, but we weren't losing fights. Like we weren't taking fights that were in our favor. Like it's just PUBG is so hard. I mean, sometimes I wish like, you know, you can go on like Reddit and all these other places and it's just like everyone's just so intelligent, you know, because they're watching the game from outside. Like, but they don't understand like, you know, how hard it is for a player in game to know what they know. And even as a coach, like you have to take that.
It's so easy to forget when you're just staring at the map screen all the time, right?
Why don't they go there?
Why don't they scout this? It's free. And it's like, why would they scout it? It shouldn't be free.
Yeah. Not only should it not be free, but you don't know the terrain. Yeah. And so it's like, you know, the hill or whatever to scout further into the zone is like open to like 3 compounds that we know are taken. Yeah. But like, you know, everyone could be like, why aren't they going to that compound, go to the hill, scout it? Like, and it's just like, oh, like it's tough because like as a coach, I do the same thing. I'm just like, man, let's get to that compound quick, boys. But like I hear their thought process and like the thought process is sound, you know, like it's what it should be. Like let's play what is in front of us. Like let's play what we can see. Like make sure we just try and keep 4 up, give ourselves a chance, right? But it's a tough game, but I guess that's what makes it fun and good for us, I guess.
It's just I think the game is so hard, and the game is still the better everyone gets, the more random it becomes, I feel like.
Yeah, of course.
And then when you're talking about a group stage, for example, at EWC, you're saying like our first 6 games, we couldn't really get more than 30 points. Yeah. You get those 6 games in the finals, you're not winning the tournament. No. It's just like like to win a PUBG tournament, I feel like you have like yes, there's like a few teams that are clearly better, and I'm talking to 2 of you right now. But there's so much RNG still involved. Does Cerberus win the tournament, or does Sonics win the tournament, or does TWIS win the tournament, or does maybe Pero pop off completely and win the tournament? There's so much like luck involved there when we have these like really short tournaments. Yeah. And that's something I really don't like about this. I probably should have phrased that a different way because I wouldn't let your guys' opinion, but I like a PGS 1 or 2 that's longer but one tournament way better than this 5 and 6 where it's 2 really short tournaments right next to each other. Because it's like each of these tournaments becomes no last chance, no winner's bracket, right? Like short group stage, short finals. What do you guys think? You guys would you rather play one big one instead of 2 small ones, or do you like it like this?
I don't mind the 2 smaller ones if they just like did something with this week that we have. Like, I mean, like I was saying to like Koi, like I was like, man, like we're just gonna sit around for a week. It's just like, why? At least like in China, we had some third-party events, which like that's cool. Like people like that stuff, you know. Like
that was fun. That was like mixed teams, exactly, right?
Why can't we do? That's fun. My team loved it. Like bro, like our team is so cooked. Like we have 4 people speaking different languages, but we kind of understand each other. It's fun. Like these guys loved it. Like it was such a good like little mental like kind of like reset. I mean, that's like something like that is cool. Or just like, you know, have like a last chance or something, or a loser's bracket, like, or just run it through the like this week, like where we have off or something. You know, there's got to be time. I know, like obviously, like I don't know the numbers of like how many people are watching the losers bracket, or so obviously all of that probably comes into play with their decision. Like, hey, not that many people are watching the losers bracket, especially if all the good teams qualified, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. In a lot of past events, the good teams have come through the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Like we've had a lot of tournament winners coming through losers bracket and stuff.
Yeah, Twisted, Cerberus.
17 was at PGS 1. I think like the top 4 came out of the losers bracket, or the top 3 or some shit like that. And you're saying the same, like EWC, it was like the bottom 4 teams, bottom 3 teams that were top 3 in the
PGS 2, we also dominated in loser bracket. Then we come to Sonics. Like in the finals.
Yeah. And that finals was crazy. But I mean, when we saw like at EWC, like when we saw that like they didn't qual, I swear, like something on our team, like we knew we were gonna win. Yeah, it was just like, twisted into the finals. It's time to go off.
Every event they ask this question: who's your biggest rival? And I think it's usually like a pretty boring question. It's like we don't really have a rival, but like this, we're here now, and to go to PGC, we have to win one.
Right.
So it's like, Twister Minds is our rival.
Right.
Because it's kind of fucking hard to win when you guys are playing well. You know, we can get the top 3 when we play well. I'm very confident of that, but winning is different,
Yeah. Well, I think subconsciously it kind of aggravated our team that like the PGS that they won, we didn't qualify for the finals. And we're like, man, maybe if we were in the finals,
you shouldn't have let them win.
Like, maybe if we were in the finals, maybe we could have won, or maybe they wouldn't have won. And obviously, like, we give the respect to them that they deserve, like being the most consistent team internationally, But as a competitor, it's always going to be in the back of your mind. It's like, we weren't in the lobby, but you know what? We didn't deserve to be in that lobby. So by all means, like, Twisted should have won, and they just won this last one when we were in the lobby. So there's no excuses, but it's just like the competitive drive and mindset of a player is just like, it's tilting. I mean, when I was watching like some of these teams that like didn't make it to these finals, like in the hotel, like I know all the smiles and all the laughing is just like, I know it's fake. Like on the inside, it's ripping them up because like, we've been there.
I went to the gym on the after group stage on the last day, and like, I think Falcons were there or something, and they were just like dead inside.
That's what I mean.
And they're just like, and then Snakers made this tweet like, "What am I gonna do for the next 11 days?" And I was just like,
it's crazy. It's such a long time, and I think it screws your mentality for this upcoming event.
Yeah, it's hard to come back.
They go out and have a tough day one.
Yeah,
like the only thing you're thinking of is like,
oh my god, not again. Yeah, just get me home.
Both events. I've been in Thailand for a month, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been there. They've been there. Like, it's like, it's tough, man. It's tough.
It's funny how absolutely the same vision, like me and Gunner have, like, I mean, not like us, but like our teams, because when we were playing like PGS 4 and Sonics didn't qualify, we're like, that's going to be easy without
this is the one.
Yeah. And then like we didn't qualify for EWC. Of course, it was more heartbreaking for us because it was like event that, it's bigger. So we were preparing more for this event. Like, it was the first time I was preparing for every single team on the tournament. I never do that. Like, as IGL, I just don't care about other teams. I care about myself. Right. But I was like thinking, okay, like EWC, like previous time I was second place. Maybe this time we should like do something, like prepare for every team, for every single move they can do against us. But nah. And then we saw like Sonics playing this first game, getting this 20 points game. I was like, no way. No way. Like, they're going to win it. Not again, like 2 times in a row. The biggest problem was that previously they won first place in Riyadh. Taken from us. So it was actually heartbreaking. But like I was saying, we didn't deserve to qualify then. So that's all.
It's a fun little rivalry.
I can't imagine like what's going to be in PGC because they're going to be 6 games.
Yeah, that's going to be messy.
It's going to be like, I can't imagine how many heartbreaking moments for some of the teams going to be there.
Because the whole tournament is just best of 6s, right?
Yeah, actually.
It's like stage 1, best of 6, top 4 go out.
Yeah.
Stage 2, best of 6, bottom 4 go out.
Bottom 4, yeah.
And first final, best of 6.
Yeah, but I don't like it too because like, I mean like, okay, so like we're coming in the last day, right?
Yeah.
That's established. Like,
I don't even know if
wanna
I
s-
like that. I
don't
would
know.
rather play
I don't
days
want to
before
sit.
that.
I don't want to sit there and watch 12 games.
Yeah.
And then come into a finals where these guys just played 12 games.
Yeah.
And are either feeling super confident.
Yeah.
Or just get like hey guys, we didn't play good, but what does it matter? It's a mental reset.
Yeah.
We're in the circuit finals.
At least they played.
And then you got like us coming in like.
And I can imagine we don't get practice rooms or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure like all the computers, they're going to be an arena like here. And I guess,
hope not.
Like, how does it work? Like, let's say we have practice days before the tournament.
Yeah.
And it should be teams who play the first day of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then they play the first day of tournament and they prepare like themselves. Then they play second day of the tournament and then we come. And it's
So
like
you might not get the practice day.
I don't know, like
until like the last day.
yeah,
of the final.
like we would have to go to some
Yeah.
internet cafe, but it's weird.
Yeah.
If it would be like in Riyadh with a practice room in hotel,
Hotel, yeah.
it's something.
I still think it's a million times better to be a team that plays stage 2 and qualifies to the final than to be invited for the final. And some teams have already played 12 games on the stage and you're just like coming in.
I agree, yeah.
But like, yeah. But it's also like, if that stage 1 and stage 2 would be best of 6s, that's terrible, but maybe. But the weekly final, at least best of 12, right?
Yeah.
Just play 12 games. That's still tiny. That's still like nothing.
You already saw how many times like huge teams, like the most consistent teams, they get like this 20 points in this day. And that's how it might be.
Nobody in this tournament played 3 good days.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody played 3 good days.
I put a tweet out too. Like, I looked at the leaderboard, I see a lot of the top teams, and I'm just like, everyone sucks. Like, I watched the games back multiple times, like literally just watching like fundamental errors, like, or just like complete like zone screwing you, like losing fights that you should have won. Like, everyone sucked.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like up until their run at the end, like, and then obviously like NaVi, like, start like doing really good, but then falling off. Like, everyone was so inconsistent. It was insane. Like, but like in a best of 6, it's like he said, like sometimes it's like, you have a 22 point, 26 point
You start
day.
the day on 22 points, and you're like, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're chilling.
And
we're
then
qualified.
The next day you have like a 50 point day,
Yeah.
But like, if you're not given that opportunity in like PGC, it's kind of like,
It's crazy.
It's rough.
It's the one tournament in the year that should be about competitive integrity.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this being more like a shorter, more exciting, fun tournament.
Yeah, same.
But the PUBG Global Championship, that's the one where you really determines who's the best team.
Yeah, it's like for the whole year you are competing to qualify for this PGC.
Yeah.
And then you get the most random tournament.
For sure the most random tournament.
And I'm not even talking about like the grand final.
Yeah.
It is gonna be most chicken, like, or not most chicken, like Smash format, like.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I understand how the game works, and getting a win in grand finals, it's not something that you can get because of your skill or something.
Yeah.
It's most likely because you got the circle and other teams die from each other and so on, and then you get this win.
Yeah.
And usually this win, like in terms of super format, is just 4 more additional points, like instead of like not top 2 but top 1. Yeah, it's good, it's nice. You get a bit more points. You were maybe a bit more lucky. Maybe you did something better in the finals, but like in the final moment of the game. But overall, it's not the thing that should determine the best team. Not like the win in the game. I understand their desire to make this last team that win the game, that wins the tournament, it's hype, it's battle royale, but I'm not sure if it's competitive.
I think it's definitely less competitive, but I think even that format, if you play 3 days, is so much better than a best of 6. Like a best of 6 is just, they can't even discuss it. Like, it's not okay to play a best of 6 for these like weekly finals.
Not
and then
PUBG.
and we don't even know, right? We don't know if the final is gonna be like the cutoff is after day 2, or is it? Because if it's like EWC, then it's basically like,
I don't know.
It was gonna be 2 days.
I hope.
But it should be 3 days.
Yeah. But I just remember how many times some teams who are actually like top 20 of the tournament, but they get like one super day.
Yeah.
And like, just imagine, let's say Sonics, us, NaVi, whatever team, we're playing so consistent for the whole year, Cerberus, yeah. We start the finals, and then we get some team, let's say, I don't know. I don't want to offend any teams, but let's take Genji, yeah.
Yeah.
They played 0 good tournaments through the whole year.
Yeah.
And then they start the finals, and they, like, let's say, they're looting 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got 2 Erangels on the warehouse, on the top of the hill,
Yeah.
just sitting there and doing nothing.
Yeah.
They got this 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
They get 45, 50 points from these games. Then they get like 20 points. I don't know what was the points you need to get to win the game. But let's say they did 20 more points in other games, and then luckily win 1 more game.
Yeah.
And then they are the winners of PGC, which means that you are the best team of the whole year between like among all the teams. Like I can't imagine myself what I'm gonna feel if it happens. But it can happen with this system.
That's what I'm saying. For PGS 5, sure, but not for PGC.
Yeah.
And also, you're going to come into PGC and you will have never played this format before.
Yeah, we've never
You played it in the rotation, but rotation is like a $2,000 prize pool, whatever tournament.
It's Europe teams.
Yeah. But like,
we've never played it.
You've never played it, and it's only played in the final of the most important tournament in the year. Like, you're not even playing it in the weekly finals or anything.
No, we have not played Smash once. In fact, I had to simulate, or at least like try to simulate in NA scrims. Like, hey guys, we hit in one day. Like, guys, we hit 60 points in one day, like, or in 4 games. Like, let's try to win one of the next 2 games.
Yeah.
And as if it was Smash, but like it's NA scrim, so it's like there's like 34 people alive, so it's unrealistic practice anyway already, and it's just like
That's right.
Yeah, like for us in scrims, we just have a goal, like every scrim to play for 100 points, because we know that like in the end of the year in PGC, like these 6 games will matter.
Yeah.
But like you can never predict what's gonna happen in these 6 games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll really get good day and you're like 80 points, you'll say, yeah, so good. But then you get like another day and you get 20 points, but you were doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You just didn't get the circles. And then what, like, people should say like, you're not good enough.
You weren't good at the right time, unlike.
Yeah, like why did this rotation like here? Like what about you didn't know like that there is a team or something?
Yeah.
Like you know that you have only 6
Why
games.
didn't you just crash the compound? There was only 2 in there. And, like, yes. You can always like pretend like you could have played better, but okay. Let's talk a little bit more about PGS 5.
Okay.
Did you guys have any surprises this event? Like any teams that surprised you? Any players that surprised you?
I can start so let's say first it was 17 Gaming that they looks like they are back. I can't say like for sure because it's still only one event, but they are at least playing much better than before. Than in Shanghai it was terrible. Yeah, and now it feels like this team can compete for the top. Yeah, and of course they had way more motivation because they didn't qualify through China, so they have to to play like best game here. And I was surprised that under like such a huge pressure, they were like 3 points away from winning the whole tournament. Yeah, so good job. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next event because NaVi is trying to get their spots. Yeah, like Pachinki Picada. Yeah, and like. Should I say that 17 might be already a bit old for it, for this shit? And NaVi, who is 18 years old, they might they're good, at pot drop. 17 is more experienced as a team, but like in terms of pot drops, I don't know, like, should I predict on it or not? Because like we were pot dropping with NaVi, and it's good team.
They also had a lot of practice on dropping.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that they dropped us it was some kind of, it's not only about trying to get our spot, because I'm sure they were not thinking that we're just going to leave. We never leave our spot. But also they got like practice with one of the best teams in hot drop for like 17 or for something. So that's going to be interesting to see. And I saw like yesterday that 17 was hot dropping New Happy for the whole day.
Yeah.
like to get this practice.
So that too.
Yeah, but we'll see. That's interesting.
They practiced all day hot dropping.
Yeah.
They're happy.
Yeah,
Yeah. They were going in.
they're going ready.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. I think at this point, maybe like. I mean, obviously I don't know their mindset, and I wasn't on the team when Sonics were hot dropping with 17, so I don't really know like all like the behind the scenes talks and stuff, because that's what usually happens, right? Like a lot of times you have like teams that are hot dropping each other, and like typically if there's some sort of mutual respect, like usually there's some sort of dialogue or conversation outside of the game, you know. But I don't know their mindset. I know they have all they have to do is make finals, and like they're pretty much like they're probably going to qualify for PGC. But I definitely see them hot dropping in PGC, because I feel like maybe like their pride at this point of them just being there so long. I mean, even if you looked at the group stage, they're in one of the days, their coach only posted their drop spot on Rondo.
Yeah.
He didn't even post where he was going on the other 3 maps, you know? So it's just like, everyone just knows where they're going.
You know we're 17.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, we are going to hot drop in test track. Like, granted, they went like east or whatever.
Yeah, they dodged it. That's the one thing they did dodge.
Yeah.
But that's also like a 3 or 4 team hot drop. Like
exactly, yeah. It's not like against one team, and it's just, I mean, he would know, obviously, like it's a pretty open area. A lot of good teams are looting it, so yeah, they just probably wanted away from it, wanted to make sure they qualify, because they know they have to make it to both finals and make it to PGC. And now that they had a really good showing, you know, like,
I would also like say, like, from my own perspective, like when we saw NaVi trying to hot drop us, like when the Rondo came, and they like post, we're gonna hot drop, and they post like both test track, factory, everything is ours. We were like thinking, what the fuck? Like, what are these kids? Like, you are not on the same level with us. We are in this game for like years, and you just want to come and try to hot drop us. And I feel like that 17 might have the same thinking, like, process, because they were the only team from China who never give up the spots. And they're like watching 18 years old kids like trying to steal Pachinki, Mikado, Terminal, and they were thinking, I think they're thinking like, no, not you. Like our something like their legacy made by hot dropping Sonics in PGC. I don't know, like all these
so many
events
years now,
like so many years of this whole show, and then just some kids trying to steal. And so I feel like they will hot drop. I'm not sure if NaVi would hot drop PGC if 17 qualify. I think NaVi, like, it's not really smart for the team, such a young team. They could play their game, from like their loot spots, and maybe play good in PGC. I also would like what we started from. You asked like which teams surprised me. After 17, I would say NaVi, because I was finally listening to their team comms, and I found out they stole the whole structure of our team. It was predictable. I mean, it was predictable because like before, like 2 years, 3 years ago, we didn't have team posts, so no one can hear like what we're talking about. And then this year, NaVi appeared with a new roster, and we got this team post from Shanghai, and we won this tournament, and everyone can hear like every single thing we discuss in our team, and everyone knows that we're super consistent. So of course they're like being smart to kind of steal the best communication stuff, and I can hear, but I'm like, no way, you're actually talking the same thing as us. And then they get like top 3, top 4 every event, and it means that the structure is actually working, especially with the players who can be individually super powerful. So I think NaVi would play good in future, just because I know that they know what to do. You know, like it's good that we don't have so many CIS teams like playing on the global stage. Otherwise, everyone would do the same thing as us. And that would be like a bit hard. But these two teams, I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, completely. I mean, I was honestly, like, I kind of wanted to see NaVi win it, I guess, if like we didn't, just because like like to me at least, it showed that there's like a hope and like a path for younger players to still like pursue PUBG as, you know, a passion, career, or anything. So like deep down, I want them to win some event. You know, obviously I want to win every event. It's not going to happen, but I want them to win some event, because I hope like at that point, like there's a story to be written or a spark in younger people to be like, you know what, like maybe that could be me, you know, like, but I mean, you know, who knows? I think they're good enough, and you know, it's just now obviously if they got the BatulinS structure behind them, like maybe it's gonna happen, you know what I mean?
They can learn a lot from this event, I think, as well, because they kind of fumbled it a little bit on the last day, and they're gonna be so disappointed with themselves.
NaVi on the last day is literally us before. Like I was watching the way how they act, the way how they play, and I understand, bro, like first time I know what's happening. It was very funny. Like it's also very funny for myself to feel like how differently I act now compared to like before. I'm still not able to say like 100% that I complete this game until I win PGC. Who knows what's gonna be in PGC? Like but still, like already 2 events we won, and I understand this difference. In terms of NaVi, definitely I can imagine them playing very good in the future, especially if us and Sonics retire. They can win some events.
Like 5 years.
So I would say I also was surprised by Cerberus playing good without Tycon. Like
the first time they did kind of well.
Like good job, especially after EWC. They were playing so bad there. I was thinking it's gonna be disband or something, like they're just gonna be like this medium quality team, but then they play good. I'm super surprised in negative way of New Happy. Something happened to this team and they become like, I don't know who. I remember New Happy in PGC career, and it was fucking monster team.
You were terrified of them.
You actually were like terrified by like how they play. Ming in his prime, he was like, even Example was a fan of Ming. Imagine if Example likes this player, it means that this player is good. So, and then they feels like they're not even, I don't know, motivated to win, to fight. They just play the game. Like KDF, kind of good example of a team that I feel like they want to win. They try their best to win. They also killed Tiamba for like 2,000 times in stadium. That's interesting. Well, that's all, honestly. I don't know other teams.
I mean, I think he nailed like most of the teams. Like, I mean, you guys had like some games where it's just like this team's good, you know? Like maybe like
it's just like
the Rondo game, I think. Like you guys like looked like it was clicking. You guys like you were winning fights, taking like you were controlling an edge. Like you could just tell like you're looking at space in front of you. You're already calculating like your next move. So it's like so it's like even like you guys, it's like, you know, this team's good. You know, like it's just like
it's about delivering it consistently, right?
Exactly, and it's freaking. I mean, it's hard. Like even this event, like I was like so upset because like we kept getting good like C1s. And I'm just like, we usually don't do well if we have a good C1. Because I know C2 is going to be like some
mega hot
wacky shit. You know, like it's going to be some wacky shit, and then we're going to be off center going into C3. And then C4 comes the unplayable. So it's like if you don't get a C3 and there's unplayable around, like you just kind of know like where the game's going to be. Like at this
especially
point,
some of these rondos.
At this point, most of like the experienced players like could probably, especially look at like a C2 and be like, all right, there's like 3 endings here. Like, you know, but so seeing us get so many C1s, and then obviously people probably thinking like we're so fed here. It's like, I'm just like, we're just really not, like, because then like even if you do get a decent C2, like by the time you're moving, and because you take early prio, right? You don't have the best loot or the loot that a player would feel more confident with, right? Like in one of our games, I think we had like 2 SKSs and Kick had a shotgun and an MK.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so we had to like try and like drive back and forth to get some like loot for everybody. But like no player is going to feel confident with that because they know how good they are with like their preferred loadout. And so that I hate getting fed like C1s like that because then when you're forced to push out, you're pushing out into a team that probably has 4 kills on edge already, probably has full util, lethal, everything, and has some confidence because they probably already rolled the team, you know? So, yeah. I mean, if PUBG Circle people are listening, like, give us, like, the off-center C1s where we have
a decent spot for some zone 2s, and then when you get that zone 2, you're fucking chill.
And then we could just get, like, some really good loot, and we could play into, like, a nice edge and then, like, sweep an edge. Like, there's just so many games where it's just, like, we just want to be able to just like sweep an edge and create space. Like they do a good job of doing it. Like sometimes you don't notice Twisted's in the game until phase 4. You know? And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh shit, like Twisted just wiped this team. What's the numbers on Twisted? It's like they're 4 up. They haven't fucking fought yet. Like they methodically move into like, you know, their part of the zone and then they just shit on the team and then have half the freaking zone, you know? Yeah. So it's like, it's
sometimes just having like the center compound isn't even that good, especially when it's like there's 3 more zones coming that can really move things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for sure. We struggle with that prio stuff a little bit as well because we're like such a late team. We really like looting late because we don't mind. But then when we have a zone where we have prio, we can't really do that, but we still want our loot.
Right.
And then we end up being a little bit later, like a new happy that's next to us. They loot for like 2 minutes and they send it.
They're gone. Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, we can take this compound, but we're only going to take it with 1 because I don't have a scope yet. This guy doesn't have a DMI yet. And then fucking new happies in our face all of a sudden. We're like, TDT drives all across the map, just into the town we loot. And we're just like, what is happening?
What is going on? Yeah.
Like, we've been trying to figure that out, how we play that better.
I remember when you just started to loot water treatment.
Yeah.
After looting like this air spots, and you were a bit like, what's happening here? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah. We're still struggling with that as well.
It's okay.
Because it's a tricky area too. I feel like there's not like there's so many different endings, then you need different spots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like it's tricky, but we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of happy we moved off of like our center loot spots. Like, I mean, like
it helps you grow as a team. No, like you have to just play more diverse and more like,
exactly. It's if I mean these guys, I mean every single person on our team at this point could see any zone from Pachinki and Picado and Terminal and know exactly like, you know, or like have a good idea of how we're probably going to play it, what our line in is going to be, you know, what we're going to look for, like for C2, the backfills that we're going to look for. So like looting on edge, like, you know, because when I first came on a team, I was like, I mean, this 17 is not going to leave. There's just no fucking point in hot dropping. Like, they obviously Sonics had their chance, and I give them credit for trying to take it, but like they screwed their chance because like they hot dropped, but they left after the first day.
Yeah.
Both times. So at that point, 17 is probably like, well, why would we leave if they're just going to leave after the first day? So it's like we knew we had to adapt, and Aishin's very good at like just looking at a loot spot and then just like really by himself just being like, all right, this is how I want to play it. These are the lines from it. Look at other good teams, see the lines they take, and then you know, explaining why they take it, right? So like I knew we would still be able to be successful when I joined the team from other loot spots, and I'm just happy that like it didn't take long for it to show. It was instant. GS1 in the last day. We had a chance. We could have won. We had a chance to win. We were looting like freaking Impala and like Gag and stuff. So we were looting like, you know, like the edge shit, and then like PGS2 we won from looting wacky shit as well. You know, so yeah, I mean, I don't mind giving up like the center spots, and I was happy that this team at least like adapted pretty well to just looting new shit and not dealing with like the nonsense. Like I think now they're at the point where they've won like Gamers 8, they've won freaking EWC. They're just like, fuck it, you know. So I still
We go
feel
back.
they're like, you know, if anyone hot drops them, we're not fucking leaving. If someone hot drops us, we're not leaving. Like it's just like it is what it is, you know. Like you know, they'll troll and just be like for earnings check, you know what I'm saying? Like fuck a hot drop you, like. But I think I still like, or some of us still have a pretty good voice of reason. Where like we're competitors, so we want to win, and you know, obviously, if we hot drop every game, that's not going to be the case. But I think we're definitely at the point where if someone hot drops us, like they're just like, we don't fucking care. Like it is what it is. But I think they've at least established themselves as consistent enough to where they, you know, they have that luxury and they've won the best events you can possibly win to at least like deter teams from wanting to really fuck with us.
Yeah, it's the whole hot dropping thing is so complex in a way. It's like, because you can always you never have, like, you can lose a hot drop just because the other team stays and you kind of both lose, right? That's like the whole test track scenario is like, you can win the fight, but then maybe people aren't even taking the fight, you're sharing it. And in one group you're fighting NaVi, the next group you're fighting 4 a.m. who hasn't played a single good event this year, but they're still coming, you know? They don't care for some reason. Like it's hard to get out of it cleanly, even if you're winning. So like dodging the whole thing is really nice.
Hot drops is, I would say, 50% about mentality.
Yeah.
Like what does team feels like against you? Like, do they think they can fight with you, or are they ready to fight for the whole event and so on? And that's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Sonics show that without hot dropping, you can win tournaments.
And you won a lot of tournaments
because we hot dropped.
Because you hot dropped, but you won them in the other games. Like you won them on the other map.
Yeah.
And then like after game 6, Pero has 20 points and you have 80. And it's like, okay, you're not going to come power.
I honestly feel like us and Sonics are completely opposite in terms of this hot dropping like mind. Yeah, like what do you think? But we both show that both ways can work very good.
Yeah, definitely can.
And that's really fun.
That's the beauty of PUBG in a way.
Yeah, I had a question like, let's say when you're looting some spot, like Gatme, for example, and you have a choice between like 117 loot Pachinki or some random team looting Pachinki, like Genji, for example.
Yeah.
What do you feel better for yourself? When you are looting your like team that you basically know for years, or like team that actually not that good from this little squad, but they're random. Like, what do you feel better for your team?
I think they probably still feel more comfortable like looting Pachinki, you know, like
No. I mean,
would you rather have 17 in Pachinki or Genji in
like 17
here?
17,
So 17.
always,
Because you know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, we would always like, even like Monte Nuevo, right? Like, if I see a zone, I can visualize it like in my head, and I know exactly what you guys are gonna do. You know, but if AGG is looting Power Grid, and I see a zone,
I mean, they just go drive by in here. Just because they think it's good for them. Why? I don't know.
I mean, personally, I want it to be competitive anyway, but like us as a team, like we want like we die to like the random shit, you know, like we die to the random teams. We die to like, we have like people coming out of the blue, driving through our freaking splits and shit, like taking our focus away from what we're going to play next, like literally out of nowhere. And then just like, bro, this is just madness. Like if this was Twisted, we'd probably either be getting crashed in like an organized like manner, or they just wouldn't be doing this. Cause like then we just knock one of them, we get a flush, we want to go get their loot, and it's just, our game is just slowed down entirely. Someone takes like priority in front of us that we've been scouting for 2.5 minutes, and it's just like, there's like just so much crazy stuff. So I usually prefer to, I prefer to be around the better teams, because I know like, and my team knows like they should be playing this. They should be, if they want to camp, they will be camping this. Like the game that you guys were on top of the rock on San Martin, and like you guys had killed us.
Yeah.
We knew you guys were going to be up there. We talked about BatulinS is going to be on this rock. This is going to be like probably like their split. And the only thing that threw us off was hearing the grenades that you guys were throwing from the billboard, Tiamba on the wall.
Yeah.
So that's what threw us off. Like obviously I'm like sitting there watching, but even still, like we're like, man, they should really still be up there. But it was just like, all right, well, if they're up there, like we'll fight them. It could be a fair fight. If we could just make it there and like survive. But like, yeah, I mean, like I'm sure it's like the same with like you guys. Like you guys probably know what we're gonna do, and
usually yes,
or what we should do.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like in the military, like, you know, if you're going on patrols, like we never take the same route 2 days in a row, right? It's always a different route on a combat patrol for like obvious reasons, I would imagine, like because the enemy can like scout exactly what you're doing. And I look at it the same way in PUBG. Like we should change it up every now and then, you know, because like Twisted can camp us. Like they camped us once in the shanties on Power Grid, and we knew it. We knew it was gonna happen, and we still fell for it, you know. But it was still like our misplay, you know. But yeah,
it's like a little mini game in PUBG in like phase 1. It's like, where do we rotate and could we camp somebody?
Yeah,
you're just kind of like throwing dice a little bit. Like we can camp them here or here or here, but they have 3 options where they can go.
Exactly.
But if you always take the same option, somebody's just gonna come camp you.
Yeah.
You gotta switch it up a little bit.
I feel like for my team, definitely same. The only thing I like about when some random teams, like maybe worse teams, looting near us, is gonna be something maybe Myanmar, because only in those games when we get these high ground positions,
you can see everything.
I can see everything, and I can do some pressure on these teams. And I know, because they're like, kind of weaker, or maybe they don't know how to play from these loose spots, they're gonna just do some random shit. They're gonna like lose their split because they don't know what to do. Only in these cases, I feel like maybe it's better, but like,
if you have the info, you can punish them. It's just when you don't have the info, you don't know what they're doing. Like we have the same with the glider, for example. We don't have your rocks, but we have the glider, and we have a weak team in front of us. Some teams still don't know how to deal with a glider. Like they just sit in the open and shoot back at it or something, and you just go pull up and you kill somebody for free. So that's kind of the same thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Okay, one more thing. I just read that yesterday. This is more of a random thing. But Aixleft is coming back, right?
Yeah, he is.
But he's not replacing the sub. He's replacing Summer.
Yeah.
So they're benching their IGL for Aixleft.
Yeah.
Pero,
what is going on?
I like Pero.
So
it's crazy, no?
Yeah, they're funny. I think Aixleft's I don't know if he's an IGL, but I think maybe like he obviously listened to their comms of this last event that they played, and maybe he just thought like, we have a solid chance if I, do this or replace this player. And I mean, this guy, there's obviously there's definitely some intelligence behind why he's doing it. Like, I mean, he's been playing this game long enough, and he's an insane player. So, and I'm sure he still has that winning drive and motivation, I mean, and he showed it time and time again, like how good his mental is. They've had so many times where they've had bad day, 70-point day. Aixleft freaking top fragger. You're just like, what? Yeah, what is going on right now? Like, where is this like on consistently? So it's like they know they can do it. I mean, so I think he's definitely making the choice. Like, hey, this is who I'm replacing. Like, let's give it a good run, or maybe it's a practice for like PDC or something like that, where it's like they want to, they want to like iron out their roster, make PDC, make the circuit finals, make the grand finals, and then just go with it. Who knows? Yeah,
I think kind of same about them. I don't really believe they're gonna play good without Summer, because I know a bit more about Pero, because my girlfriend is from China. She can translate to me like there's team streams and so on, and like that's way, that's their way of communication. Like without IGL, I don't know, like they don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have Aixleft, who is one of the best players like in the world in terms of like
Yeah.
individual skill, and maybe they will have some good vibes. You know, like if they start good, why not? Like why not play some good games, especially with the good circles where they don't really need to think too much. They just need to farm people.
Yeah.
Maybe they will get some good games, not like for top 3 of the tournament, but easily like top 8, for example. Yeah.
And if they can find the right teams and punish the right teams, then they can definitely frag out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just hard circles are going to be hard to maneuver for them, I think.
The only interesting thing for me, like I want to imagine like some of the teams from top 8 of PGS will lose the tournament, and they will stay in top 8 and wait until one of the teams will go higher. And I guess we have 17 right now, right?
Yeah.
Who can possibly not qualify. I don't know about Pero.
Pero is kind of good.
Kind of good,
Yeah.
but they
Cerberus is like you two are qualified top 4 100%.
Yeah. Cerberus top qualified top 8.
Cerberus is
NaVi.
probably top 4. NaVi, if they play good, they're top 4, but they're always top 8. And then what comes next? Pero, 17.
Pero 17 TSM and
E-Arena.
E-Arena is out. 99%.
Yeah, 90%.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll see.
But I think Pero is probably in, but we'll see.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If they qualify for the
Because
finals.
they're still like 70 points ahead of 17 or something, I think,
Yeah.
right?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pero should be good, but I mean, I know you had ran the numbers, so
Yeah.
you would know better than anybody. So
Yeah. It's still like super hard to run the numbers because it changes so much. Like if one of you two wins the event, the whole leaderboard
everything
is completely
changes.
different.
Yeah, everything changes.
Because the difference between winning and second is so massive.
Yeah, 300 to like 180.
So it's like
so.
there's like 10 teams or something. If they win, they're in, and if they get second, they're not.
Right.
So like NaVi, for example, is almost always going to be in the top 4, but if any of the teams below them just wins, like if Eternal Fire wins the event, they pass NaVi or something.
Right.
You know, like so. The win is just massive. So like anything can happen really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little strange to me because Pero is like they've gotten really good when they brought Summer on, but now they've been like they were really bad in their region and they were really bad at this event, and now they're switching it up for the next one. So they're gonna go to PGC, but they're gonna come in with such a bad track record. Like it's really hard to judge.
I don't know, like their psychology around this IGL stuff. Like for me, it's very, like weird.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like if in my team, like someone would replace IGL just because because they feel it like this.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it's just different mentality, different country, different players. Like they have this feeling. I guess they should work with it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like this event and then PGC would show like if it's working out or not. I doubt like it's gonna work out, but like we'll see.
They can also just try this event.
Yeah, that's
What do they have to lose?
I think that's what they're going with.
Yeah.
Like, I think they know they're probably good for PDC.
Yeah.
And like if they make this change and they just pop off, then they just run with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
We'll see.
Fair.
We'll see.
Gonna be interesting. Okay. I have like a short little game left for you guys.
All right.
You guys know what a blind tier list is?
A
blind what?
No,
Blind tier list.
No idea.
So you basically, there'll be like a category, and you'll get 5 options.
Right.
You have to rank them from 1 to 5, but you don't know what the upcoming options are. So I could give you vehicles, whatever, and the first thing I give you is a buggy, and you have to rank it, but you don't know what the next vehicles are that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I understand.
All right. From A to like D or something, or S to D?
From 1 to 5.
Oh, 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Like 5 is the worst.
1 is the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this game. I saw it in TikTok.
Yeah, it's kind of good. It's kind of good. I'm going to start with you, Batu, okay? Your category is PUBG players.
Okay, so
You'll get 5, and you rank them from 1 to 5.
Can people be in the same tier?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 players on my list, so I don't even know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and then you like after you finish this rating, you're like, okay, maybe I'm fine with it, or
Yeah. Like we did it with Chris with teams, for example, and he put like 17, he put them in 4, and then the next team was like TDT, and the next team was FW, and then he ended up with FW in third. You know.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's fun.
First player is Loki.
Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god.
You're gonna get screwed.
Well, like, I mean, there's no way you put him out of top 3 or like top 2 because he's the GOAT.
Yeah. True.
So I would put him. First of all, in terms of what, like, in terms of his GOAT, or like in terms of
I would say
how strong he is right now, or like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I would say PUBG Legacy. You know?
Legacy. All right. Well, that's.
I think that's
one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Not even close.
Okay. And then the next is. Let me roll the wheel. Drum roll. Next option is Aixleft.
5.
5.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's
see where this takes us.
Let's say 5. Okay.
Mhm.
A bit risky, but fine.
Tiggleton.
Let's put him. It's interesting which name is gonna be there. Like, let's say 3rd.
Okay. Usually people always start in the middle, and then they get shafted at the end because they have to put a really good player at 5.
Loki, if it's Legacy, Loki is 1.
yeah.
So
Shrimsy.
Flimsy. Fuck. Well, I mean, if it would be like, if I could change, I would put Shrimsy above, like higher than Tigodon, but I would put him 4th now.
Okay. So you
Just
would have gone 3,
still
4.
waiting for this like super name.
Okay.
super name.
I know, like, not many names can be higher, but like.
Soul.
Okay. Look, I guess I have on the 2nd.
Yeah.
Really fine with it.
So if you could change it, you would swap Tiggleton and Shrimsy?
I feel like, I mean, Tigodon is also the GOAT. Just Shrimsy for me is kind of a, mysterious GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, he's like just good in so many stuff in my head. Like, just I feel like he's very good.
Yeah, he's a little more undercover as well. I feel like.
Yeah,
he's
like, of
more
course he's
less
not
flashy, right?
Like popular, like Tigodon or something. But the way, like, how much work he did and how old he is.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate, like,
for me, he's kind of like, and also he's one of the best in like this PGL skills, and like everyone can see that he's fucking consistent.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was pretty good. I think I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, people always start out putting stuff in the middle because they want to be safe, and then
Yeah. More on that PGS kills to show how good Shrimsy is.
yeah,
We missed a PGS, but we also never got into
losers bracket.
losers bracket.
yeah.
So he was literally farming those PGS kills just with like groups and finals without having the opportunity of dropping like 30 something like Hemas did in like a losers bracket or something. So it just shows how good he actually is. So
Yeah, for sure.
Now your turn.
Okay, we're gonna do PGS 5 final teams and how they're gonna do in PGS 6. What do you expect of them in PGS 6?
that makes it harder. Okay.
But you still do 1 to 5, but
Right,
just
right.
like sort of like because otherwise you could just go by the leaderboard of the last tournament and be like,
Right. And for the record, no disrespect to any team. I think you're all amazing.
all amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
the first one is something we just talked about. Is Pero.
No. They're making that swap with Summer, so I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I'll put them... I should put them 5, huh? I should, huh?
I mean, okay, yeah.
I think
I'm gonna make it easier on myself. I'm gonna put them 5, just because of mainly because of like the summer change, and Aixleft not playing an entire an event. So yeah. Okay.
5 or 4, but like 4 is always risky because you don't know what you're gonna end up
Then
in 5.
what if I get stuck putting Twisted in 5?
Yeah.
Then I just look like a freaking idiot.
Number 2, Cerberus.
Cerberus. 3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, reasonable. Vietnam fans still gonna be angry at you for a 3, but it's fine.
Well, I have my reasons because I think Twisted is on that list, so they have.
Maybe they're not.
Okay, well then I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Twisted and Sonics are on the list, and I will be silly to think.
I put 16 teams on the list,
Wait,
but you're only going to get 5.
Oh god.
FW.
You know, Cerberus should just be 1 at this point, right? But I mean, all right, I will. Okay, now that I understand it better, I'll put Cerberus at 2.
Cerberus at 2?
Yeah, and I'm banking on us or them being in this list.
Okay.
There is Essence. You have to put them all first. Okay.
Okay.
Because 5 is already taken, and we're either last or first.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Next team is Genji.
Is 4 open?
Yeah.
4.
So you're on 2 and 5 right now. 4?
4.
Reasonable.
Okay, yeah.
You happy?
Not that bad, by the way.
Now you're happy Cerberus not in 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because New Happy's in 3rd.
Yeah.
Because I think they're better than Genji, and I think they're gonna be better than Pero.
Which is this team?
Yeah.
KDF.
I mean, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, it's not that bad, man.
Not that bad of an outcome, to be
No.
honest.
I mean, KDF can always. I mean, they could win the event too.
They can win it.
Yeah.
I think they got it in them, and they got the dog in them. So yeah. I mean, that's it, right? I got 1 left.
Yeah. No, you just put them
already
in.
finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. So KDF would be 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like.
Cerberus in 2nd, so that's
Honestly,
like...
it's basically
I think that's kind of correct.
fucking good.
Yeah. No, that's good. KDF can win this event. I like 100, hands down, 100%. They have what it takes. So, and then Cerberus would be the next team out of that entire list that would win this next event. So I'm good with it.
Yeah. I think like it's hard to say if you're putting Cerberus ahead of KDF. I feel like KDF is more consistent, but Cerberus has like the better pop-offs.
Yeah. I like that list then.
But that's pretty solid.
If I had to go back, I think I'd swap maybe like Pero and Genji, but that's like pretty interchangeable down in 4 and 5.
But also Pero is like, you have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Pero could get a top 6 this event, or like
that's what I mean. Yeah. I like it.
Solid. That's pretty solid.
That's fun. I like that. I like my list there.
On game.
I'll have to try and come up with more categories. I wasn't sure like what to do.
Do you have more, or it was?
I had more ideas.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing like maps, but I think that's like a little boring.
Yeah, maps is.
I was also
It's kind of it's just your own.
Personal opinion.
Yeah.
Could do something like IGLs, or could do like teammates, or something like that. I thought about doing like, just like I can also just completely rig a list.
Like
I can just give really fucked up outcomes.
Fun game is gonna be something like, which player you would choose for 1v1, and then you have like the list of nicknames, and you'll get like, I don't know, like Genji other, and then you get example, and you get Tigleton, and then you really think like, let's say, like,
I think the best way to do this stuff is like have a mega long list. Just for example, best player for a 1v1, but I have all 64 players of the final on there or some shit. So you have really no idea what's coming.
Yeah. That's gonna be,
because when it's about the legacy or something, I only had like really good people on there.
Yeah.
So that could be something fun. I'll think about it for the future.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely should be many nicknames, so that like, because first of all, when I get Loki, it's like too simple. Of course he's gonna be like top 1 in terms of gold, like just because the amount of trophies he won. And
it's gonna be interesting though. I feel like because he won't be a PGC, right? And he's not at these PGSs. Like the GOAT discussion can change this year.
I think only if us or something's win.
That's it.
Exactly.
I think so too.
But then you really start talking about it.
It's still gonna like Loki still will be in this list.
He's always going to be in the Hall of Fame of PUBG,
Yeah. Because I don't think like looking at PNCs, like I don't even like they can't even play in PNC. That changes everything.
That's why I think also PNC is like, it's a really hype tournament. But it's not a very competitive one.
No, I love it, but I don't think like
it shouldn't add that much.
I don't think it should add to like the GOAT factor when they're literally when Korea is playing in their country with literally like a roster that they've won. You see, and even this year as well, like it's like they have interchangeable players there that just still make them like the favorite, right? Like I mean, going into this year, like, I mean, we should have won. Like, we definitely should have won, but you know, like, I think the favorites were still just going to be Korea no matter what.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Maybe we'll join 1 year. Who knows? Until I finish my PUBG career.
Yeah, maybe.
Just hoping. Yeah, but that's true. And also, like, if we count PNC, like, let's say we have an American team, and that would be like Aixleft, for example, who would definitely, like, if he would be able to compete in PNC, he maybe would already win like 1 or 2 of them. But he always have to be changed with some player because not like 3 or 4 Sonic players can go. Like Korean team.
Yeah.
So like, I also don't like to count PNC, like PGC, PGIS.
For sure. You can't, if you're being fair, you can't count Nations Cup because of what you're saying. IGLs kind of get shafted at Nations Cup because usually the players with the stats get selected. And then some countries just can't go. And some countries just have other rules than others.
Right.
So that shouldn't really be the deciding factor.
I wanna ask him a question because we've had this talk on our team, but you know, if Russia were to have a team, like say they had one this year, you know, I think you, an example, would probably have been the representatives of your team.
Maybe.
I mean, I mean, obviously you don't want to be like, no, but so that's why I'm going to make it easy on you. Like, I'm picking you an example. You can't pick anyone else from your team. Who are the other 2 players that you would want as the captain to represent Team Russia?
That's really, really interesting question.
Yeah.
First of all, can't imagine myself without Lu.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, like that's why I made it easy for you. I picked example, and I picked you.
Okay.
So you just picked the other 2.
So I can't take Lu. Yeah.
No, you cannot take anyone else from your team.
Okay, so previously it was easier because we had like 2 Ukrainians, 2 Russians in our team.
Yeah.
And we also had NaVi. You know, like with Uba, with example. So it was super easy. Like me, Lu, example, and Uba, for example. Or Alia. But all of them just not in PUBG anymore. We have another NaVi, but they are all Ukrainians. And then we have like Bad Boom team. Spyro is from Ukraine. Adozi, like, I can't imagine myself playing with Adozi. But out of all the players, he's the most experienced one. And he already was in PNC, and he already won PNC.
Right.
Yeah.
So possibly I could choose Adozi just because, like, I don't know who else should I choose.
It's hard. We were having a hard time too. We're like,
I'm thinking Bessalov.
Bessalov or Phil First, I don't know.
I thought Phil First as well. He was my pick.
Yeah, I mean, when we were talking inside our team, I said Phil first of all, because like I feel like he's gonna be, you know, like it's nice guy, and like it's very comfortable to talk to him. So maybe he will suit the team well if I'm IGLing. Of course. So, what else do we have?
It falls off pretty quick after BB, right? Like BB is
like BB is
by far the best second Russian team.
Yeah. We still think like these players, they have much experience of playing like these global tournaments, and other players like not really.
Yeah, like you have like a GG, but they're way.
All of them are don't really never played tournaments before EWC, and they played EWC for 2 days. And
got last, so went home.
Yeah, and I never played with them.
Yeah.
So, well, I will say,
Bustik.
Bustik is from Ukraine. And he's German. He will go for Germany. Yeah.
Maybe we can win the Nations Cup.
Yeah. It would be nice for you. He just doesn't know German language yet.
He has to learn.
No. I guess Adozi and Phil First. I can't imagine myself playing with Adozi because he's IGL, and now we're like...
He's also like a very strong IGL, right? Like, I think...
Yeah, like he is strong IGL, and his mentality is really different compared to like our team. And also, we don't have like a beast between each other,
right?
But like for like long time, we always trolling each other or something like that. And so it would be funny. But yeah, if we just take a skill, and experience, I feel like Adosi and Phil Ferris from BB.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good roster.
Makes sense.
But definitely doesn't sound like this Russian roster I imagined in my head before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were thinking more like your team going to PNC. But
yeah.
like,
It's like I can imagine like if me, example, Lou, and like let's say Phil First, it's something like Korean country.
Yeah.
And I could say that we will just be above most of
It is
things.
so different to have 3 of your team than to just have 2.
Oh, yeah. It's a big difference.
It's completely
It's not even about like Lou being just a player of my team, but also like our structure.
Exactly. You're bringing the structure and you're just fitting one piece in. If you're 2-2, you have to completely like really...
I would say that like when the NaVi were winning in Dubai, like the roster with me, Lou, example, and Uba, it will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like it's wow. Like the best I can imagine in my head.
Yeah.
Now it's much more complicated, but we'll see if we will ever be
Maybe
able
we'll
to compete there. Yeah, but that's interesting.
I hope you guys can. This last year, everyone was thinking that we would pick Rello as like the IGL because you know the players had that choice, and obviously Snakers was gonna pick Rello, but and Kick had like chemistry with Snakers and with Rello in the past, but I think, you know, and picking Purdy I think was a surprise a little bit to some because Rello on paper made more sense, but Purdy is more of like the IGL that's just like go here, you know, and like if like we have Kick and Shemzy and then Snakers who like I wanted to slot in as like the anchor, like it just made more sense to have an IGL that's like, you know, go here, shoot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Rello is more of like where at least I never heard his comms, but from what I understand, he's more of like information gathering from his team, you know, which is
more complicated structure.
Yeah, exactly. So we were just like, let's go. We're winging it. We'll bring the old man Purdy.
Yeah.
Whatever he says, we'll do. If he tells us to shoot people, we're gonna shoot people, and it almost worked.
Yeah.
You know, point off.
It's good.
So it was fun though. We had a good time, and then I got to work with Snakers as well. So, and I enjoyed that. Yeah.
By the way, remember you asked me like which team surprised me?
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say TSM because like everyone is kind of not talking about them for a long time, but this year they're like super nice.
Yeah.
And that's I just want to...
They fell off on the last day, right? I expected them to finish like pretty high up.
Yeah, they didn't even play the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, almost like
what I know them for is they play like solid PUBG, good PUBG, and they're like play really consistent PUBG. It feels like. But their last day really, really cost them.
Yeah, I don't know how many points they had, but I remember.
I think they had like 14 or something.
Yeah, talking about Purdy, he wasn't happy. I mean, obviously we weren't happy either, but I mean, they're constantly like consistent, I guess, like other than PGC Dubai, like, you know, going back to Face It London where they got second place. Like Purdy is secretly like
he's kind of a sleeper high performer. Like
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I was gonna talk to him. I was like, and I was looking at his Wikipedia, and I was like, he was kind of like, he had a bad year. Like SDK, TSM had a bad year. Like I think around the time he left, after the time he left, whatever. But before that, they were always like top 4 PGC and stuff. And like, and now they're picking it up again. Like he's
so
got
I like
results.
Just for the fans, for everyone, you should expect them play good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're gonna finish like PGC in top 3, like I will say now.
Yeah.
Maybe top 14, but maybe top 3. So we'll see. And Gunner should know much better than me.
I worked with them for years. So,
Last question before we close it out here. I forgot to ask this earlier. Trimsy made a video after Nations Cup, and he said something. He was talking about you and how he liked you as a coach. He was saying Gunner had us coming into Nations Cup prepared, and I was sitting there and I was like, I have no idea how to prepare a team for Nations Cup.
Yeah. Well,
can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't say we were prepared because prepared for my standards would be like double blocking scrims, you know, everybody like kind of having their own takeaways on, you know, how they believe we could win, what we need to do to win, why we're playing poorly, right? But so I don't think we were for the record. I don't think we were...
For your
because
standards.
We didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah, no one did.
I was home for 2 days, and then I was back on a 30-hour travel day.
Yeah.
I just think, like, I think since I worked with Purdy, that was helpful because I know he would just kind of go with the flow with things and just listen to me rant about some shit. And then with Snakers, like, I know, you know, he was, like, more, you know, obviously he would pick Trevor because, like, Trevor is his coach, so, you know, that makes sense. But I just basically make a list of how to win. Like, how do we win an event like Nations Cup, where there's random stuff, where there's players that haven't played together? You know, their first game ever with Purdy was the game we won in Miramar. There was no scrims, there was none of that shit. You know how it is, like, you just hot drop and then that's it. So the first game we actually played together as a roster was the Miramar win, like around Cabrera, or east of Cabrera, like on the ridge there. So that was the first freaking game we played, and we won it. And we're like, oh shit, all right. Like, I mean, granted, we got some favorable zones, but it was just like, all right, like, maybe we can do it. But like, the whole thing was just like, I just created a list of like how to win. Like, this is how we win. Like, we have to play as a team. We have to like listen to each other. Like, we have to communicate well. Like, you know, Purdy, I wanted Purdy to be very like, not like strict, but just like very direct about how he wanted to have the players play.
Yeah.
Snakers, Anchor, like Shrimsy and Kick, like, play up front, you know, like, because they have like the chemistry from being on Sonic. So we just kind of like went through the inner workings of the team and just said, like, this is how it should be. And, you know, like, it but as far as preparation, like, the only thing you can really do is look at the players, see their strengths, and just kind of try and put them in that role. And I think that's what was the best thing, because like they were comfortable in that role. Snakers is comfortable anchoring. Like, it's, I mean, I literally even told him, I was like, just bait the whole team. Literally, like, your DMR is so good. I just want you giving info, anchoring, and baiting if you can, you know. And like, Purdy, I said, I don't want you running around by yourself and fucking dying.
Yeah.
He didn't listen in some games. But he knows, you know, like,
Yeah.
if there's one thing that he'll do, he'll always take accountability. He'll always, like, if he dies, he'll be like, I am a freaking idiot and I apologize. That game is on me. So he's pretty easy to work with. And then Shrimsy and Kick, at this point, I just always want them together like they're twins, you know.
Frontline duo.
Yeah, that's it. Like, because Kick came from the Oath and like the LG system, to where, like, you know, they're all baiting each other and they're all freaking, like, you know, a little more passive, and just that shit just needed to go.
Yeah.
You know? And we tried to work that into our system when he first came, and, you know, I think he was miserable with it. And like, now that he's friends with Shrimsy, like, he just gets to go up front with Shrimsy and just play with Shrimsy, like, he likes it. So
yeah,
it was good. We should have
figure out the strengths and use them
That's
correctly.
it. Yeah, that was it. That was the preparation, really.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's cool. Thank you guys so much for doing this. This was really fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Good.
that was amazing.
Hope we can do that sometime again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's kind of different in person. It's like
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
nice.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I hope we're gonna have it like maybe in PGC if there is more free day or something.
Yeah.
Maybe after, who knows?
If we're at PGC, I'm gonna try and do it. Yeah.
You have to come there first, yeah?
You have to let us win one. That's what I said. I told them at the start of day one. I was like, you have to let us win this one, you know? And he's like, yeah. And then they got 20 points on day one. I was like, nice. And then they saw we weren't doing it on day two, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, well, I guess if Ascend's not going to win, we'll just win anyway.
Yeah, then we just go in. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kowo.
That's the outro. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cool.
Epic.